What's up? This is Brian Pfeiffer, marketingmeathead.com. Today I'm going to teach you about 14 hacks to make your Facebook ads more profitable, get more leads, and get more sales. All right, welcome back. So if you like this content, make sure you like this video and subscribe to this channel for more. Bang that notifications bell. We teach you how to make money online. And this one is a good one today. You want to pay attention and get your notepad out because this is going to be some really good stuff. Now, just to preface this video, some of these tactics I've been using and I've known about for a number of years. A couple of them I didn't know about, and I heard a rundown from Tim Bird at the Affiliate Summit West. And I took some really good notes, and I thought it would be good to share that with you because some of this stuff is very useful and is going to help you make more money, get more leads, get more sales on Facebook. All right, so let's get started with number one here. One thing you want to do is you want to go over your post insights and look at your negative feedback, okay? So let me go back to that here and actually... She'll play from the start. This thing's a little bit touchy-feely here. So, all right. So negative feedback. All right. That is basically you go to the post, okay, and you're going to hover over this, okay. And if you click on this right there, you're going to notice up here on the top here, there's been 190 feedbacks, and we have 24 ha-has, 6 loves, 6 angries, and 2 like oh my god type ones, and then a sad face, okay? These would be considered more of your negative type feedbacks, okay? So you want to make sure that you're keeping the negative feedback low and the positive high, okay? One thing you can do to do that is throughout the course of your ad, your campaign or whatever, while you're running, you can run what's called a reach campaign. And basically a reach campaign is this, okay? It's going to be a campaign that reaches a lot of people that do nothing. Okay, they absolutely do nothing. So what that'll do is, in Facebook's algorithm's eyes, it'll make the campaign look like it's getting a lot of like visits or eyeballs, and it'll make your overall negative feedback ratio lower. Okay, so at the end of the day, that's one way to start to. If you start to see a lot of negative feedback on your ads, but it's making money, then you're going to want to run a reach campaign and get that out to a lot of people that aren't going to do anything, okay? Because that's going to help your overall metrics in the ad. You can also run what's called a page post engagement campaign. And if you haven't heard what a page post engagement is, basically you're just running money to an ad to just get people to like, comment, and share on it. So Facebook's smart enough to know the people out there that'll actually do that kind of stuff, post, like, share, drop your emojis on and whatnot on there, and they're going to send your post out to a lot of people. So hopefully your post is getting more engagement on the positive side than the negative side with a PPE campaign, and that'll also help your metrics and allow your ad to keep running longer, okay? And then another thing you can do is you can run a page like campaign, okay? If you're running an ad from, obviously you're using a fan page, and that fan page doesn't have a lot of likes, well, set a budget to get about 10 to 20 likes a day on that page. So Facebook's going to start seeing your page getting a lot of reach. You're going to start seeing a lot of, more likes every day, 10 to 20 a day, and you're going to get a lot more engagement on your post. That's going to help your overall metrics of the Facebook algorithm for the ads that you're getting, like your purchase conversion campaign or your lead conversion campaign, whatever that may be. You're going to have a lot better metrics to get to those, get to the good traffic, and Facebook's going to start seeing people are liking your post, whatnot, and your page, and that's going to help your overall and get to the better traffic. Okay. Now, another a trick that you can do that's going to help you out a lot that most people don't do, and I've been a victim of this too. I haven't done this in the past. Is I'll be running traffic to from a fan page and from an Instagram, and I don't do a lot of like posts on it. Okay, basically I just kind of let it run, and it just kind of goes one of those things that you just kind of forget to do. Well, in Facebook's eyes, the more your fan page looks like a real business, and your Instagram looks like more like a real business, the more likely they are to show that page to people that are going to actually, if you're doing a purchase conversion campaign, purchase, okay? So you can see a nice increase in your, your CTR and whatnot, and your your cost per purchase will go down if you start doing it and making this look like a real business. Okay, that's very important. One of those things that most people, including myself, have forgot to do in the past when we're running campaigns. But one of those little tricks that you can start to see a really nice improvement in your campaigns by doing. Okay. People ask me many times what you should do with comments. Okay, if you get some negative comments on your posts, and the best thing you can do is not reply or not delete those comments. Okay, if they're feasible enough to leave on there and they're not going to kill your conversions, like scam and that kind of stuff, then you want to go ahead and reply to those, basically to those comments and say, hey, listen, we're not a scam, that we're a legit business, blah, blah, blah. And if you write back to those people, there's a high likelihood that that's going to help your engagement. Maybe they'll write back again and, basically keep it like a little conversation going. And people like to see that, okay? They like to see that you're not just like, some person that's in the dark back there and whatnot. Actually, Tim Bird used an example of going into like a Walmart, and if someone walked in and said, hey, you're a scam, this is a scam, what would Walmart do? Most likely they would try to talk to you and explain why they're not a scam. And then at the end of the day, if you got too loud and too annoying, then they'd probably have you kicked out. Okay, so at that point, you might want to hide that comment. But in the beginning, you should definitely try to reply to the comments and get a conversation going and get more engagement on that post. So that's a ninja trick as well. Okay, another trick that you can do is you can actually hover over an ad set and you can actually look at like the insights and the audience auction overlap. Okay, if you're running a lot of ad sets, like I tend to do a lot of times, what you potentially could be doing is bidding against yourself in the auction. Okay, and you want to make sure you're keeping that your auction overlap around 20% or less. Okay, if you start getting up to 30, 40, 50%, basically you're just bidding against yourself and driving your price up on yourself. So that's another ninja thing you want to consider when you're running ads. Okay. Another big thing that I've noticed this works, and I've done this before, Tim mentioned it as well, was that you want to have multiple ads in your actual, with each ad set, you want to have at least 8 to 10 ads to start, okay? If you're running about $100 a day on an ad set, for example, you're going to want about 8 to 10 ads in there. And you're going to want to have a combination of image and video ads. You're going to want to let Facebook's algorithm pick the ones that are the best for the people, okay? And in order for Facebook really to optimize a $100 a day ad set or CBO, for example, you're going to need at least about 10 conversions for Facebook to even know what's going on. Okay, that's what you're going to need for it to really work. And if you're running campaigns that are actually more like around 50 conversions, okay, you're going to want to have more like 25 to 50 ads. And now this could be not, you don't have to have actually 25 to 50 different ads. You can actually take, a set of 5 ads and duplicate it. And then maybe you want to have some video ads, and then you could duplicate those. So basically you have 20 ads right there, okay? And that's only basically 10, but turned into 20. But you want to have want to give Facebook the ability to have different ads to work off of, and not limit the algorithm's ability to pick the best ads for the potential purchasers or leads, okay? So it's very important that you follow that step. I've been doing that lately, and I've been seeing some nice results with that. And if ads stop converting, then you flip the ads off, but you want to keep it down. Get it down to maybe like 5, 6, 7 ads, and then if those, if some of those stop performing, then you want to add more ads have more ads. Okay, basically you want to have always at any one time at least 5 and maybe up to 10 at all times going, so Facebook can pick out which ones are the best. Okay, so that's kind of how the algorithm really works. Another way to do this, Tim calls it the bully method. I've always just called it bid manually. I thought bully method was pretty funny. But what you could do is you can tell Facebook that you're willing to pay like a really high amount for either a lead or a purchase. And then what happens is ultimately you start getting like better traffic in the auction, okay? Because you're kind of like pushing other people out of the auction. And this can work really well. If there's a really competitive auction and you're going after like say an audience that has a lot of competition, then you might want to try this. Try, going really high, like around, $100 per conversion, or maybe even $200 conversion, $300. Try different levels, okay? And you can also try this in the same, for example, maybe in like a, in the same campaign. Try, a number of duplicate ad sets, and then go ahead and run your, different bid levels on each of this, duplicated ad sets, and kind of see what happens and see if anything, one of those really ends up standing out. Okay, so Facebook's kind of like, it's a living, breathing machine, and there's there's definitely intricacies when you're doing this kind of stuff. So you might find what we call tapping the vein, and if you tap that vein on one of those ad sets, then you're in the money. Okay, so that's just one of the little tricks that we've done over the years that have really helped. Another one that Tim mentioned, and I've done this before too, and this actually works. I'm on the West Coast, and so my ad accounts start at 3 hours behind the East Coast. If I'm running in the U.S. and I start at midnight, that's 3 a.m. So technically on the East Coast, if I were to start my ads running at like say 4 a.m., that's like 7 a.m. on the East Coast. Okay, you're gonna have to play around with this, but because I'm on the West Coast, sometimes I start my ad sets around 2 or 3 a.m. and that gives me more opportunity to have my budget spread out over a short time. Okay, so the way that works is when all of a sudden my ads start up, then Facebook is basically, oh wow, I got to start spending money, and I got to get aggressive in this auction in order to spend this money because I've already lost out on 3 or 4 hours of the day for this particular ad set. So that's one way to kind of like maybe start getting higher placements in the auction. And because you got more budget to spend than the same person that's spending 100 throughout 24 hours, you're only giving Facebook like 20 hours or 21 hours to spend that $100. Okay, so it's something to experiment with. It's not always going to work like that, but it does sometimes work for me in really competitive markets when I know I'm running campaigns that other people are running and probably running after the same traffic or same ad sets with the same audiences. That's one way to kind of bully people out of the auction in the beginning of the day. So, and then finally, I want to mention that if your ads are starting to fatigue a little bit and you need to turn a few of them off, pause maybe 1 or 2 a day, and then when you get down to like 4 or 5, then you want to go ahead and duplicate those and then add some new ads as well, or a little combination of both. Okay, and you want to always keep per ad set maybe anywhere from, like I said, 8 to 10 if you're doing like 10 conversions. If you're doing basically 40 or 50 conversions a day, you're going to want to have more like 20 to 30 ads, okay? And a combination of video and image ads are going to be really helpful when you're going to do, really trying to optimize these campaigns and let Facebook's AI do the work. Facebook's smarter than we are, but we can do things in this list that can help Facebook really kick in and really give you an edge on the competition. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today. Make sure you like this video. If you found some stuff useful in this video, leave me a comment below what you're going to try and let me know the results. I'd appreciate it. I'm the Marketing Meathead. We'll talk to you later. Thank you.